In the 12 to 15 age bracket, certain physical and mental characteristics are better trainable than in the past. Players are more social and more focused on cooperation. Technical development remains just as important, but you practice more playing together. You learn to agree with each other. You start to understand better what to do when you have the ball and what you should do when the opponent has the ball. When your team has the ball, playing the game without having the ball, positioning, is the important issue. And when the opponent has the ball, you must learn how to work together. To practice that in training, you use a lot of position play and practice games. You train teamwork, but also technical development is still important in this period. You still have the freedom to develop individual initiatives or plays. Later in the training, it becomes more important that your actions are efficient. Between 12 and 15, physical and mental development can be very different. This makes it difficult for a trainer to determine how to approach a player. At this age, they can make a distinction in someone being better and another doing more. Gradually, they discover what their skills are. Some realize that they can achieve their goals with limited natural talent if they try harder. Others realize that due to their limited natural talent, they will never reach their goals, no matter how hard they try. They can make a more realistic judgment of their possibilities. That realization typically develops between 11 and 14. In the previous age bracket from 7 to 12, the player is mainly preoccupied with ball control. This is mainly done in training forms whereby you train in an isolated fashion. In this period from 12 to 15, you maintain and further develop techniques already learned. You do this with passing and receiving exercises whereby the different positions of the exercise always have a correlation to positions in a match. Thus the accent is put more on a functional application of the techniques. You must make the right decisions in a match. Receive the ball correctly every time. Pass accurately. And be aware of positioning. For this reason, it is mainly important that you make the right decision every time. This is why you must learn to recognize situations. Two situations that are common. An opponent gives you space, and then this is possible. And an opponent is on top of you, so this becomes the right thing to do. At AJAX, we opt to initially practice the situations without pressure. You mainly train the technical side. With this form, you practice what to do if the opponent is right on you. You must respond in the right way. Players must understand, even if there is no opponent yet, what match situation you are training for. The execution is therefore not the player's choice, it must suit the situation. You must ensure that. In this exercise, there are 6 positions. These 3 are one group, and the other 3 are another group. Here, you train running free, receiving, passing and taking a new position. After a shot at goal, the other side starts. The centre forwards keep on returning to their own positions. The others shift one position. After shooting at goal, you pick up the ball and go to the other side. This player chooses position. The opponent chooses to give him space. Here, the opponent also keeps his distance. Now, upon receiving the ball, he can open up. If you have the ball and you have your face to the opponent, then you have the initiative and a better overview. This is why here you must choose position well. This player chooses a position whereby he can receive the ball and open up. For this reason, the pass needs to be a little further away from the opponent. It also helps if you can use both feet. The centre forward must be open at the right moment. The right moment depends on the reception and eye contact. The ball is played fast and accurately to the centre forward. This player is already underway so that the attacker can make a direct return pass. So you must open up, pass and move on. The defender makes the mistake here of not making a decision between defending against the opponent in depth. That makes this possible. If the defender does not give you space, then this is the solution. Then there is space to do this. The skills that are needed for this can be trained this way. As a midfielder, after passing, you must move immediately. The next step is with the defenders. The defender chooses to follow or to stay put. All 3 players must judge the situation well. These players must immediately recognize what is going to happen. The centre forward must know when to stay out of the way and when he should be open. Here is a situation where the defender defends close by. And this is a situation whereby the defender follows. How this player runs free is dependent on the positions of the person with the ball and the centre forward. If you do this, then this pass over the ground is impossible. You must run in the right direction. If the ball is here, then you must do this. As a midfielder, you must be able to feel how to choose position. In this exercise, the situation is the same. The first pass now alternates from left back and right back. This is another exercise for passing and receiving. There are 4 positions in a Y shape. In this position, you play alternating with left and right. You should be able to execute everything left and right. If you want to get the ball here, then receive with the right and pass with the left. And if you want to get the ball here, then receive with the left and pass with the right. The striker must receive the ball while moving. That is why the pass must be accurate. In this position, you must receive with your right and pass with your left. And in this position, receive with your left and pass with your right. In this exercise, the emphasis lies on direct return passing and fast return to support. As the passing player, you must ensure that you are open and move on after the pass. This means that you must first make a feint. After the direct return pass, you must move away and ensure that you are open again. The long pass should be played hard and low over the pitch. After getting back in, you become the passing player. If this player defends tightly, then this is a better solution. Such a situation should be practiced in this way. This player wants the ball but does not get it. Right after the long pass, you must ensure that you are open again. The player in this position must pretend that he wants to pass it directly. At the right moment, you give a long pass. Now naturally you cannot pass low over the ground, you will have to pass it in the air, over the player's head. You give the pass alternating between right and left. This is an exercise for passing and receiving whereby 5 positions are taken. The ball is played. Then a long pass is given to the centre forward. At the same time, this player anticipates the pass. The ball is played in alternating from right to left. In this position, you must make a move to free yourself from your defender. You must choose your position well so that you can keep an overview and play the ball immediately. In this position, you must ensure that you are open. All passes must have the right speed and direction and shoot at goal with the correct leg. In this position, the ball is passed directly 3 times. This player passes and must ensure that he is here in time to pass the ball again. This player does the same, but he has to be here in time for the shot. In this exercise, not only technique is important, timing also. You must ask for the ball at the right moment, directly pass while moving, and ensure that you are in time to finish off. Technical skill should be mainly applied in soccer situations. You make the technique functional. The real technical development happens in positioning and game practice. In the preceding period, you are busy with more simple forms. The choices a player makes are less important then. The main objective is to develop reception, passing, dribbling, and getting past opponents in soccer situations. In the period between 12 and 15 years, more and more tactics come into play. You then need to learn to make the right choices. You are still developing technique, but always in relation to a situation in the game. Then you learn when and how to use certain techniques. You might, for instance, be great at receiving the ball, but whether reception is any good always depends on the game situation. Passing and receiving in a positional game become more specific. Receiving the ball must be good because otherwise you lose it. The training objective determines the form of positional or practice game. In the first period, if the accent lies on technical development, then they are simple forms of organization on a small pitch. The choices are quite simple then. It's all about passing with the right speed and direction, fast decisions and fast action, and the development of using both feet. When between 12 and 15 tactics become more important, then you practice this in more complex organization forms, usually on a larger pitch with more players. The training accent now lies more on the right decisions, the right field, positioning, and the development of the individual play idea. Due to the more complex situation, players are forced to make decisions. If they do not, they lose the ball. In a match, you must have the insight, technique and speed to make and execute the right choices. So you train tactical and technical skills at the same time. Tactically, you must continuously make the right decisions, and technically, you train receiving and passing the ball. With positional and practice games, there is a close relationship between them.